And we go. Welcome, everybody. It is Dawn's 11 o'clock class, and today we are going to do a song called Somewhere Out There. And I know you've probably heard this a million times, but it's the next one in the book, so we're going to do it. And this is level 3. This is not an advanced class. So, what that means is we are going to get comfortable with our fingers on the keys. Yes, I'm going to add a few chords, but only to challenge you a little bit. You do not have to play any of the new chords. And we are also going to talk about easy arranging. So we're not
Dawn, we
going to do all
lost
kinds of
you.
presets.
Dawn, there's
Yeah.
no volume.
There's no volume? No volume in my vocals?
No, I can hear you.
We're good.
Okay.
good.
Join us, you.
Yeah, we're good.
Oh,
You're
okay. Joanne, check your
Yeah.
volume on your computer.
Checking. Yeah. Yeah. I got it.
Okay.
Thanks.
I was going to say, yeah, there's no volume. I haven't started playing yet. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is just going to set it up on song setup and start playing. Just so that, yes, you can hear it. You can listen to what it does. Follow the roadmap. And then we'll go through all of it after I get done playing. But mainly, I do want to use this as a sound check. So when I'm done, you can tell me too loud, too soft, crackly, all that good stuff. So here we go. Okay.
Copy this page.
So let me know how it's a sound.
Very good.
Sound was good?
Yeah.
Okay, so I won't need much of a sound check then. That works. That works. Thank you.
Volume may be a little low, maybe.
Oh, you guys are cute.
Did you hear me, Dawn? The volume may be a little low.
Little low?
I,
Okay.
I didn't think so. And,
All
and my
right.
dead husband heard you.
Okay. All right.
Fine. It was fine.
Okay. Because I probably will get a little bit louder than that for some of the songs and a little bit softer
First
than
page
that.
is easy.
Yep.
Second
All right.
page, you got a little more
All right,
note.
I'm going to hit mute all again, and we'll get started with the lesson. Thank you for your comments, everybody. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. I can't do it without you. The song was recorded by American singers Linda Ronstadt and James Ingram for the soundtrack of the animated film An American Tail in 1986. I watched that when my kids were little. That was just a really cute little flick. So if you've never seen An American Tail, it's about two little mousies. So rent it from Netflix and watch it. It's really adorable. It reached #2 in both the United States and Canada, and it won 2 Grammy Awards, one for Song of the Year and the other for the best song written for a motion picture or television. So yeah, it's a fabulous song. And we play it all the time here at Fletcher Music Centers because it seems to be everybody's favorite. As far as which rhythms to use, go to your song setup because most of you will have it. Now, if you do not have the Somewhere Out There ballad, then you will have to try something different. Now, in this organ, it came up to, let me go back to song setup. Nope, that's the wrong one. There it is. Smooth piano 4/4 at 70 beats per minute. And it came up with the strings on top, and I took the duet off to start because you're actually starting with Linda singing first and then James Ingram singing second. So it doesn't matter who you assign to what. And so the only time I put that duet on was when they were singing together on the chorus. So I hope you noticed that. So that is just an arranging tool that you can use to turn your harmony on and off because your instruments are taking the place of the singers. Okay, let's take a look at let's talk a little bit more about backgrounds. What else can you use? Soft and easy basic is very good. Strings 101, that's my go-to background. It works for everything. If you have the smaller instruments, if you've got a Freedom 3, your mellow, easy 8-beat or heartfelt are very good. Also, your gospel guitar heaven. If you have an easy 1, 2, 4, 10, those instruments, any of your smooths, your full band pianist or guitarist. Now, caution, if you're on the easies, and you use a pianist or guitarist background, make sure you turn it into a full band. How do you do that? Well, first of all, you have to make sure your drummer goes all the way to the top. Then you want to add a lower chord sound, usually strings or an organ sound, but usually strings works really well. On an easy 4, there's a button over here called ensemble, lower ensemble or lower more. Make sure one or both of those is on. And then you also want to add something to the piano that's going to come up here or the guitar that's going to come up here. And again, usually it's going to be strings. You can also add vocals or an organ sound. And if you notice, those of you that have tabs, that's the sound in the tabs. Organs, strings, and vocals. Those are the sounds that what we call pad the other sounds. Or what I like to say is it makes them fat. It makes them big and thick. So if you add your strings to either your piano or your guitarist, you're going to be fine. Now, where do you find those strings? It's going to be in the button that's right here on the easy 10s and 4s called organs. Organs also contain the strings. So you just want to touch organs and then scroll until you find the right sound that you really want. Okay? And remember, all of you can make adjustments as well. You do not have to use song setup, but it is the easiest. So go to song setup and just play and have a wonderful time. All righty, let's now go to road map. What's the road map on this? Okay, get out your colors. All of page 1 or page 88, all of page 89, turn the page, the first 3 lines, and then the 4th line you have one measure, and then you have some thin lines, and then it says DS al coda. Go back to the silly sign and play until you get to the 2 coda sign. Remember, you never go backwards to a coda. Codas only send you forward. So I'm going to make that a color, and then you have to find the silly sign. Page 89, not the beginning of the song, page 89, second line, right in the middle is your silly sign. So you want to make that a color. Now get a different color, because now we want to find the 2 coda. 2 coda, let's see, let's play the rest of page 89. There it is. It's at the end of line 1, the end of line 1 on the last page. Then you're just going to jump down to the coda that's on the bottom. Codas send you forwards, and you just finish the song. Now I'm going to give you a hint. You don't have to go back. You don't have to go back. You can play to where that double line is on that last page. Actually, you can play until the end of line 3 and put a fine there. Out there, out where dreams come true, right where that ends. That's where you can actually end the song. So you only have to play it once. You don't have to go back and play that bridge part again, which is where the silly sign starts. So that's totally up to you. You can end the song at the end of line 3 on page 90, or go back to the silly sign, play the next measure, go back to the silly sign. You also probably noticed I added a measure. Where did I do that? Top of page 90, neath the same big sky. I added a whole measure in between there before going to the somewhere out there, because I was leaning on the fill-in. So it gave me time to reach over and touch my duet button, because that's where, when they're doing somewhere out there, which is the chorus, you want both singers together. So by leaning on the fill-in, or doing it on your foot switch, or doing it on your pedal magic, you have time to reach over and add your duet. And if you don't feel like doing that, don't worry about it. It's your song. It's your arrangement. Okay.
Dawn,
Yeah, go ahead.
may I ask you a question? On the top line where you just talked about adding the measure
Yes,
before the second measure,
correct.
that's when you added the duet and used the fill-in.
Correct.
That when I heard the song.
Did you do that
I wondered
naturally?
if- Yeah, and I heard that duet come in, so, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Thanks.
Good. Good. See, you're listening. You're becoming an active listener. That's a wonderful thing. Okay, I'm going to add some extra chords. Are there any other questions about the roadmap before we go on? Okay, good. Let's do the extra chords. Remember, these are optional. If you're a little bit more advanced, then go ahead and put them all in and play them, because it's a wonderful way to challenge yourself. If you're just coming from a level 2 into a level 3 and just starting to make arrangements, you don't have to play any of these chords. You can just play what's here and be absolutely fine. Okay, so that being said, here we go. The C chord is good for 2 counts. Beat 3 over the G half note, put in a C major 7, C capital M-A-J 7, and it's 2 fingers. It is C and B, chickens and butterflies, and you should play it in this wide position right here. C and B. Now if you play it down here, I'm not going to look, but it gets your hand out of position. It's not really the right way to do it.
Dawn,
Yes.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I tried it the other way. I wasn't comfortable doing the B on the left.
Yeah, because you have to move your whole hand
Right,
down here. Then you have to
right,
look to get it back in position.
yeah,
If you play it with just reaching your thumb up to the B, now your hand is still in your home position. And
I
that
agree.
keeps everything nice
I
so you
agree.
don't have to look. Good.
Yep.
The
And that
F
was over the G
for
for
where?
where?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yep.
I'm there.
The F in measure 2, make it an F major 7. F major 7. E and F. And that you do play together. That's good for 2 counts as well. Over the C for there, do a plain old F. Now, a word of caution. You can't just play the chord and lift a finger and expect it to sound. You have to play the chord, lift the whole chord, and then put one finger down. You can add a finger to make a chord, but you cannot subtract a finger and expect it to sound because these are computers. They only do what you tell it. Let's continue. The C chord is good. Let's go to line 2. The F chord is good for 3 beats. At the end of that measure, put in an E minor, elephant minor, E and G, and you may put a 7 on it if you wish. D, E, G. For 1 count, the D minor, you may put a 7 on it. And all we're really doing is connecting the 2 measures. We're going from F down to the D minor. We're just walking down to that next chord. You may put a 7 on the D minor, C, D, F. The G is fine. You may put a 7 on both the E minor and the A minor at the end of that line. Or you can just play the 2 fingers. You have to play E and G, and you have to play C and A. If you add the 7, it's D, E, G for the E minor 7, and C, G, A for the A minor 7. Third line, you may put a 7 on the D minor. Beat 2, in between those 2 chords, put a C, plain old chicken, going to the F. So you're going to have 1 chord per note. And what that does is it just adds a little bit of emphasis to each one of those lyrics. Loving me. That's what's important in that line. Loving me tonight. Second measure, you may make the G a G sus, S-U-S, and that's a suspended 4th chord. It is a 3-fingered chord, C, D, G, for 2 counts. Over the half rest, which is that rectangle sitting on top of the B line, you're going to make it a plain old G. You're going to resolve it. G sus, plain old G. The C chord is good for 2 counts. Beat 3 over the G for where. Go back to the C major 7. C and B. Play it the wide way. Last line, the F is good, the C is good, the F is good. F is good for 3 counts in the last measure. Over that last note, beat 4, put in an E minor or an E minor 7. Once again, we're walking down to the D minor that's at the top of the next page. And you may put a 7 on the D minor. The G is good. You may put a 7 on the E minor. You may put a 7 on the A minor. You may put a 7 on the D minor. Remember, 7s are always optional, so you don't have to worry about them. Now, again, in between, we're in the line 1, last measure. In between the D minor and the F, you're going to put a C chord over that E quarter note. So you're going to have, again, the emphasis of the lyrics. big somewhere. Oh, here comes Luis. Let's let him in. Next line, no changes. Woohoo! Third line, second measure. The F over the word helps. Make it an F major 7. F capital M-A-J 7, and your two notes are E and F. Remember the rules for major 7s, it's the note minus 1, so right next door. It's a jazz chord. Line 4, no changes. Line 5, no changes. Those chords are hard enough as they are because we are playing chords we don't see very often. You're going to put your thumb on the A flat, then you're going to put your thumb on the B flat, and yes, with the left hand it's okay to go thumb, thumb, poke, poke. It's not okay to do that with the right hand. But with the left hand it's okay because they're just chords. You're just touching, 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 touching. Okay?
So
If you
did you
wish-
want the B flat or the B flat 7?
It's easier just to play B flat, but if you wanted to
Okay.
play the B flat 7, it's A flat and B flat. And then you
Okay.
have to move your hand, because then you have to move that pointer up to that A flat. If you just play the B flat, you actually can keep your hand in position without having to move it over. So if you just do A flat, B flat, A flat, B flat, A flat, B flat, the rest of your hand stays put. And it makes it a little bit easier, in my opinion. Because look at what you're doing in the right hand. Lots of black keys. We're not used to playing those all the time. Let's turn the page. Measure 2, the C chord is good for 2 counts. Over the G for where, guess what? We're repeating. It's a C major 7. C and B. The F is an F major 7. E and F for 2 counts. And then over the C quarter note for the word there, go back to a plain old F. And that means you have to completely release before putting that plain old F back down. You can't just pick up a finger and expect it to sound. It will not do that. Second line, second measure. The F chord is good for 3 counts. Beat 4 over that quarter rest. E minor, E and G, or E minor 7. And then you may put a 7 on the D minor right next to it if you wish. Sevens are always optional. Third line, you may put a 7 on the first 2 chords, E minor and A minor. You may put 7s on them or not. Don't worry about it. And then let's go to the coda, last line. You may put 7s on the E minor, and that's the only one I actually have added. So that's it. We're done. Nothing too hard. The major 7s are going to be your main new chords. And if you have the handout that I always have Robert put on Patreon, it does say that the major 7s are additional options. You don't need those at all. But challenge yourself a little bit. If you like the song, it will make the song sound a little bit nicer. And all of the notes for the chords are written right here. Okay, as far as sounds, choose whatever you like. Piano strings, horns, flute. You may just use exactly what's given to you on song setup and you're going to be fine. Like the only thing I would do is turn off the upper duet when you get started so that you have one note going at the time. Because you only have one singer going at that time. So what I did is I started on the upper keyboard, and if you want to write a U, you would put a U at the very beginning, no duet, and you're going to play the first 2.5 lines. Then you have all those rests in the middle of line 3. Right before you get to measure 3, put an L. Doesn't mean loser, it means lower. So then you're going to go to the James Ingram part. And you're going to play that all the way to line 2 of page 89, first measure. Then in the rest, and it doesn't matter where you start, you're just going to go back and forth between the two. I went back to the top and did Linda again. When you get to line 4, first measure on the same bright star, that's where you might want to put an L so that you go to the lower on those black keys. And keep on the lower. When you get to the top of the third page, top line, second measure, right where we added that. Remember, we're adding a measure so we can do our fill-in and add a duet. That's where you want to play the duet for Somewhere Out There. Because then that's getting the two singers to sing together at the same time. Unless you've got big enough hands that you can play both keyboards at the same time. Or you have a third arm. That would work too. Any questions on chords? Nope. Okay. Let's go to fingering. Fingering. Pencils out, because if you don't like mine, you can always erase it and put your own in. E3, G5, E3, C1, D2, E1. Circle it. That is a thumb tuck. G2, D5, C4, A2. Check mark. That means you're going to lift your hand and reposition. A1. Let's see what's the easiest way to do this. I have two sets of fingering. Either way is good. Let's do A1, D4, B2, A1, G3 with a circle. You're going to do a crossover. Pull your thumb out and put it down on that low C. C1, E2. Shh, 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 shh. Not time yet. Third line, F3, G4, A5, F3, D1. Check mark. E1, G2, A3. Last line, G2, A3. E1, D2, high D5, C4, C4, A3, G2, A3. F1, A3, top of the page. D1, E2, F3, A5, G4, A5. Low A1, C2, F5, E4, D3, C2, A1, C2, second line C2. Okay. Check mark if you wish, because you're starting a new section. C4, A2, C4, A2, C4. B3, A2, A2, G1. Third line. A2, 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 G1, G1. A2, G1. A2, C4, 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 D5, D5, D5. B3. Next line, C4, A2, C4, A2, and cross out the next B and throw it away. And you're just going to play, instead of a triplet, you're going to play the C and the A like they're 2/8 notes. And then the B quarter note, you're going to make a 3. So instead of playing it like this, you're going to play it like this. Isn't that easier? Much easier. All right, then a check mark because now you're going to change keyboards. E flat 5, C3, E flat 5, C3, E flat 5, D4, B flat 2, D4, B flat 2, C.
Excuse me, Dawn.
Yes.
I got lost
Okay.
right after the check mark on line 4.
Okay. Right after the check mark on line 4. Yep. E flat 5.
What happened to the C?
The C is going to be 3.
Okay.
You got an E flat in front of it. You've got an E flat, then you go C, E flat, C, E flat. So all the E flats are 5s on that line.
Okay. Gotcha.
Your C's are 3. Then your D, B flat is D4, B flat 2. D4, B flat 2. You caught up now?
I am. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. All right, last line, C3. And here's where we're going to break a rule. You know, I always tell you, do not put a thumb on a black key for the right hand, if at all possible. Here's one of those cases where you have to do it. It's the only way to do it. So you're going to do C3, A flat 1. C3, A flat 1, B flat 2. Check mark. E flat 3, C1, E flat 3. C1, E flat 3. F4, B2, F4, B2. Let's turn the page. And continue. F4, B2, F4, B2, G5. Now you're adding your duet. E3, G5, E3. C1, D2. Second line, E1, circle it, that is a thumb tuck. G2, D5, C4, A2. Check mark. The A half note for the word then is a 5. Low B1, C2, D3, G5, C1, C1, B2. Circle it. That is a crossover. The low A is a 1. F5, A1, B2, G5, G5, G5. And if you want to just end the song there, you may. If you're going back, you have a G pickup note. You can make it a 1 or not, because guess what? It's the word and. You don't need it. If you need the time to go back to here, you can just play even though. The word and is a connector, and if you don't have, you're using your hand to turn a page, don't worry about playing it. So you can actually put that in parentheses. But make it a 1 if you are going to play it. Let's go to the coda. E1, circle it, that's a thumb tuck. G2, D5, C4, A2. Check mark. Low B1, oh I'm sorry, A5. The A half note for the word then is a 5. Low B1, C2, D3. G5, E3, C1, B2. Circle it. That is a crossover. A1, F5, A1, B2, G5, G5, G5. if you notice, line 3 and line 5 are exactly the same. Okay, any questions? If you have your device close to your instrument, keep muted, put it on easy only. Remember, I'm going to have the beat here. And we're going to play all together. Now you can play the new chords if you want. You can just play chords if you want, or you can just play right hand if you want. So make it easy on yourself. But at least this way, if you're struggling with something, you can ask me the question, or if you wrote something wrong, you can ask me the question before we go. All right, let's try this. Let's see if we can actually play this on... Nope, I think I'm going to change to a basic country so that we can hear... There, we can hear the beat better. Okay, now my sounds are going to be strange, but this way we can actually hear the beat. I'm going to count to 4, and then we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, I'm sorry, I forgot to slow it down now. Oh boy, am I bad today. All right, let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. Rest, rest. Make sure you're muted. Rest. One, two, rest. Now we play. One, two, three. One, two, three, four. G, take away the duet and go back to the silly sign. Whoops, I'm sorry. Now go to the coda. One, two, three, rest. didn't exactly sound with the same ambiance when it was on country, but that did help you to hear the beat better if you were playing along. So yeah, your smooths and your soft and easies are the ones that are going to make this song really sing. But if you're just learning and you're struggling with the timing, make sure you go back to your basic country or basic standard. Do something that's just going to give you an easy beat so that you can get your fingers and your chords in the right place. Then when you go to your soft and easies and your smooths, now you can sing the song. And if you make a little bit of mistake on your timing, who cares? It's your song. So don't worry too much about it. All right. Did you learn one thing today?
Yes.
Very good. If you learn one thing every time you come to somebody's class, you are 100% successful. Next week, we do Sweet Caroline. Woohoo! All right. Don't forget concert at 3 today. If you don't have the link, just email me and I'll make sure that you get it forwarded to you. And Robert's going to say, where did all these people come from? Just say you're party crashing. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. Are there any questions?
That link is for today?
It's at 3 o'clock Florida time.
Okay. Can you send it to me?
Yes, yes. Shoot me an email, and I'll make sure that everybody gets forwarded a link. This is something he did at the last minute, and
Okay.
he's not inviting the whole world. I wish he would have, but he's not.
Yeah.
So
So that's that Fred Nanko one.
I will most definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Dawn, could you give me that email, your email again?
Yes. 5028
Okay.
at FletcherMusic, all one word, .com.
Thanks.
You're welcome. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dawn.
Thank you, Dawn.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you for
you.
coming. I can't do it without you.